actions that leads you to misery, actions that leads you to a state of temporary happiness and brings you back, actions that takes you to the path of the sun where you enjoy the benefit and then you attain the three grades of actions we have seen. That where you go to the path of sun and then you attain liberation from there is called Krama Mukti. Liberation in stages. Actually, we should not call it liberation in stages, sequential liberation. You go step by step by step. Krama means sequence, step by step. Anybody who violates the Krama, Tamil we say Rumba Akrama. Anybody who violates the Krama, I think the word Akrama is in the Telugu also. Same language. Not same language, similar vocabulary. Yeah. Anybody who doesn't follow the Krama, we call it as Akrama. Akrama on Rama. It means what is not following the way in which things ought to be. Therefore, Krama means sequential. So, step by step you can attain Shar. Then there is another method, Sadhyo Mukti. Sadhyo Mukti means you can, instead of going step by step, there are people who jump 4 steps and go now. Step by step is too slow. It's too slow. You don't want that kind of. Therefore, what happens? They jump steps. Instead of step by step, they climb 3 steps, 4 steps at a time, and Mandukya doesn't even go steps. Mandukya is from one jump from this end to the other end, straight jump. I don't know whether anybody actually do it like that and all, but it is there. For example, you see a person like Ramana Maharshi, you get what is it in the Mandukya happens. No training, no nothing. He was playing. Somebody told him he was not even paying attention. He was playing. I don't know. He was playing a game of cards. And then there were 2 people talking. Man, the brother was asking, from where are you coming? From which temple are you coming? This person said, Tirunnamalai. Ramana turned back and said, what did you say? Tirunnamalai. Third day he left. Mandukya, from this jump to that jump. It means the preparation has happened already. Preparation happened so much that he didn't study. That person didn't even say Shiva temple. All that he heard is the word Tirunnamalai. He didn't even know where it is, east, west, and north. So he didn't even know. He didn't even know what is the right train to take. You know that he got lost midway. He thought this train is taking there, and then he went into another station. Then one Muslim boy asked him, where do you want to go? He said, I want to go to Tirunnamalai. So he made him get down from that train, and he helped him to take the train, and then he got down from the nearest station and he walked. He says, when he saw that mountain from the distance, he says, I just started crying because I have seen my father. He says, I saw that when I saw the mountain from the distance. We also see it many times, and I don't know what we are seeing, but he saw something. That is the Mandukya style. And Upanishad, Shastras wants us to aspire like that. Maybe if I aspire for the Mandukya level, Krama Mukti is possible. That's the understanding. You aspire to the Mandukya level, at least Krama Mukti is possible. So if you aspire for Krama Mukti, you will end up in path of moon. You aspire for path of moon, you will go. That's why you see, the path of sun is good. You get there. Upanishad talks about it. Kaivalya talks about it. Vihadarandik also talks about it. He Brahma Lokeshu Parantakaale. Mundak also says the same thing. Later on, it's going to say, He Brahma Lokeshu Parantakaale Paramita Karinchyanti Sarve. न कर्मणा न प्रजयादनेन यागेन एकेयं तत्त्वमाशु. It's called the Guru Mantra. When the Guru comes, it's called Purna Kumbha Mantra. When the Guru comes, you give the Purna Kumbha and then welcome the Guru. And how will they welcome? They chant this. न कर्मणा न प्रजयादनेन, all that we know. He Brahma Lokeshu Parantakaale Paramita Karinchyanti Sarve. I know all that, but with your grace, I don't want to go through that. That's the prayer. It's not easy. I have studied all that. I know the Brahmamukti, but by your grace, please help me. I don't want to go through the step by step. Not like Mandukya. From one end, I go to the other. After this, Avidya discussions. After this mantra number 12, most important mantra of Mundaga. Most important mantra of Mundaga Upanishad is the mantra 12. Entire Vedantic introduction, the entire Vedantic thought that we develop is from this mantra. That's why we have such a great regard for this mantra. Because all the introductory talks on Vedanta is based on this mantra only. Not only this full mantra, just that one word. That one word. Meaningful. Such a meaningful word. We'll read the mantra 12. Having examined the words gained by action, a Brahmin should turn passionate towards them. The uncreated is not attained by action. To know that, we should, with sacrificial values in hand, approach only a Guru, not a prince. Approach only a Guru who is learned in scripture and established in Brahman. Transition mantra. Now, the important mantra of Mundaga is Pariksha Loka. Pariksha means examining. Examining means buddhi comes into play. Intellect comes into play. One is Anubhava, another is Pariksha. Pariksha here is not to learn from experience. You use your buddhi, understand and transcend. One way of knowing is through experience. Another way of knowing is what? Another way of knowing is through examination. Pariksha Loka. Whoever does this, who will have the capacity to do this pariksha? A Brahmana, a Brahmin. Brahmana, Brahmani Charati iti Brahmana. That is the meaning. That's the root word. Brahmin means Brahmani Charati iti Brahmana. One who's walking in the path of Brahman is called a Brahmin. It means there are three types. One type is called a Jati Brahmana, one who is Brahmana by birth. And then another one, Brahmana by karma. And then there is the third one, Brahmana by guna. Obviously, Upanishad is talking about guna Brahmana. They are not worried about the Jati and the karma. Again, Brahmana is of three types. One is the Jati by birth. Purusha Suttam said it very clearly. At birth, all are Brahmana. At birth, all are Brahmana. At birth, all are Jati. At birth, all are Jati. At birth, all are Jati. At birth, all are Brahmana. At birth, all are Brahmana. At birth, all are Jati. At birth, all are Brahmana. At birth, all are Jati. At birth, all are Brahmana. At birth, all are Jati. At birth, all are Brahmana. At birth, all are Jati. At birth, all are Brahmana. At birth, all are Jati. At birth, all are Brahmana. At birth, all are Jati. At birth, all are Brahmana. At birth, all are Jati. At birth, all are Brahmana. At birth, all are Jati. At birth, all are Brahmana. At birth, all are Jati. At birth, all are Brahmana. At birth, all are Jati. At birth, all are Brahmana. At birth, all are Jati. At birth, all are Brahmana. At birth, all are Jati. At birth, all there is no jati, there is no jati at all at birth, because at birth all are equal. As you grow, depending on the karma and guna, etc., your karma gets determined. So who's a brahmana? Not jati brahmana, not karma brahmana. Karma brahmana means the profession of a brahmin. What is the profession of a brahmin? Research, teaching, writing. These are all the profession. Just because a person is born there doesn't make it. Just because a person does this profession of the karma brahmana is of 3 pairs of job. Yes, the karma brahmana does 3 pairs. First, studying the Veda and teaching the Veda is the first job. Studying the Veda and teaching the Veda is the first job. Second, performing yajna and helping others to perform yajna. First job is to study Veda, and whatsoever Veda you study, you must. It's your job to pass it on to the next. Teaching means teaching it to the next generation. Then only the parampara will be there. So the first so one is first one is the jati brahmana, one who is a brahmana by birth. The second one is karma brahmana. Karma brahmana means one who is a brahmana by karma, by set of activities. And what is activities that the Shastra says a brahmana must do? Studying Vedas and teaching it. First karma. Second karma of a brahmana, 3 pairs. First pair is what? Studying and teaching. Second pair, he is performing yajna by himself and helping others to perform yajna. The second pair. The third pair is to receive alms, and whatsoever is received, give it away that same day. So that night back to square one. That is the life of a. So he alone, he takes, and he. So what is concept? He is more of a medium of passing it. So that evening when he goes to sleep, he should be like the bird, the animal, not knowing, unless I get up and do action tomorrow, my meal will not come. Just hear this as a story and forget it as a don't try. That person is what Upanishad calls as a brahmana. That brahmana does. Now, what did he do that he is able to become a guna brahmana? What did he do that he was able to become a guna brahmana? He was able to become a guna brahmana because he did the karma properly. Because of him having done karma yoga properly. Karma yoga means combined with upasana. Karma plus upasana. That is all implied already. So a person who has done the karma upasana properly, rightly, perfectly, alone becomes a guna brahmana, and that guna brahmana will be doing this set of activities. As he is doing this set of activities, instead of getting carried away by all these activities, what should he be doing? He should be doing pariksha. Pariksha literally means examination. Pariksha means examination. What does he examine? What does he examine? He examines the experiences of life. What do you examine? You examine the experiences of life. Whose life? Yours and others around. Your life and the life of others around you examine. Very beautiful introduction to the proper way of. When you examine karma, what do you get? When you examine karma, when you examine action, what do you get? You work for 5 days and you get a weekend off. That is heaven. That's all heaven is. You work for 5 days, you get 2 days holiday. Only to come back. Friday evenings. So Friday evenings is very frustrating because Monday morning is going to come very soon. That is the experience of the weekend is earned by working for. The weekend is earned by working for 5 days. Karmachita, he says no. Karmachita means that which is earned by karma. Karmachita. If you work for a year, you will get a holiday for 4 weeks. That is karmachita. Whole life you work. What is karmachita? Retirement. That is karmachita. And then what will you do? Buy a van and tie a boat. You buy a van and then you will tie a boat and go round and round and round. Yeah, that is what? That is karma. That is karmachita. Even that comes to an end. So what is examination now? The formula, the law that you have to apply for examination. The law that you have to apply for examination is this. Any result, any fruit achieved by action will come to an end. This is the law of karma. This is the law of action. Again, any result, any end achieved by actions will come to an end. Because karma being finite, the result that it can produce also has to be finite. A finite karma doesn't have the capability to give infinite result. This is what pariksha. This is the pariksha that the Brahmana does. All that you have gained will be lost in time. All that you have gained will be lost in time. The second pariksha. The first law is action. Any result produced by action will come to an end. Second, all that you call as mind, which is a product of action, time takes away. So the second principle of examination, even this shall pass away. The second principle of examination, even this shall pass away. Remember the poem we have read in number 10, the king of Persia said, even this shall pass away, even this shall pass away, even this shall pass away. So all karmas ultimately will result in misery. All karmas ultimately will result in misery. How do we say that? Even though a karma can give you a desirable result. Since that result is going to end, when it ends, what will you be left with? Misery. Therefore, all karma ends in misery. That's why we don't do anything. That's why we don't do. That's why we just don't want to do anything, because it is said, karma chita, that is accomplished as a result of karma. You find diminishing and losing it. That's why it's called yama. That's why we call it as yama. The name yama means god of death, time. Yama means time. So he said, I take away means time, time take away. Even a desirable result, even the fruit that you wanted to get, if you get it, even that diminishes. And when it diminishes, it doesn't leave you with joy. It leaves you with pain. Therefore, whether action will produce sorrow directly or action will produce sorrow indirectly. Karma is done. This is the examination. Pariksha. Three kinds of doshas it has, which we said in the introductory session. And then I said in Pariksha I will elaborate. Everybody remembers that? I said it has three doshas, and when we go to Pariksha, we will examine that. What is that? The first dosha is Dukkha Mishratvam. The result, Dukkha Mishratvam. Dukkha Mishratvam means a combination of pleasure and pain. All karmas will result in a combination of pleasure and pain. Like rose and thorn combined, karma phala also comes combined. Dukkha Mishratvam. The second one is Adruptikaram. First one is Dukkha Mishratvam, full of dukkha means either happiness now and diminishing happiness, isn't it? Our happiness from VVK is only for another 2 hours, isn't it? 2 o'clock. If you don't find out, you will be thrown out. So, it is the starting point was wow, and goes on diminishing. And announcement started making from yesterday. Prepare to pack your bags and prepare to leave. Dukkha. The second one is Adruptikaram. The second dosha is Adrupti. Adrupti means it always leaves a sense of discontentment. Trupti means contentment. Atrupti means it always leaves a sense of discontentment. Adruptikaram. Why Adrupti? Because from finite you go to another finite. But what is it that the human being is searching? Introduction. Natural. Infinite. Therefore, any accomplishment that comes out of action will keep you in that finite state, and as long as you are in that finite state, there will be a state of Adrupti. Second examination. So the first examination is Mishratvam. Mishram means mixture. Pleasure and pain comes together. Hyderabad, Charminar, chili bhaji you eat. Hyderabad, there is a stay Hyderabad. There is a Charminar building there. Best food is found there. Best bhaji they give there. Has anybody eaten there? So many people. So the first bite you take, Brahmalokitis. First bite you take, Brahmalokitis. Pressure comes. Instantly, in 10th second, what comes? All the 9 gates open. Sinuses open, throat, everything open, and you are sweating and you can't stop eating. Dukkha Mishram is. It's not only Dukkha. Carefully follow. Examination should not reveal only Dukkha. Examination should reveal it is Mishram. Mishram means both always come. When pleasure comes, pain comes together. When pain comes, pleasure comes. So first examination here is Dukkha, Shratvam. Second is Adrupti Karan. What is Adrupti? Always a sense of discontent. Because Mukshatva being a natural thing, karma cannot. That moksha, the swarupa, being a natural thing, and action cannot accomplish it. Therefore, what happens? Actions being finite by nature, it will give you only finite result. What will be the end result of the karmas? Adrupti Karan. That's why we say the richest person wants more riches, the most beautiful person wants more beauty, because any finite thing will keep you in Adrupti. The third thing, Andhakatva means bondage. So the examination of karma must lead you to these 3 conclusions. What Upanishad does, it gives the question, it gives the answer, steps you have to fill. It gives the question and it gives the answer. You must arrive at it. That is pariksha. How would you arrive at it? By yourself, by following the method of pariksha. Obviously, it is implied that to do pariksha, you need a buddhi. And what should be the quality of the buddhi? Manda buddhi, Karpura. Even the buddhi is divided into, even the buddhi, intellect is categorized. One is Hari buddhi. Manda buddhi. Hari buddhi means charcoal buddhi. Keep on fanning. Little bit will come. You stop fanning, immediately again you have to. That is called Hari buddhi. Banana stem buddhi. The best one is Karpura. So that Karpura buddhi is the Brahmana's goal. That is why we chant the Gayatri. When we say Dhyo Yona Prachodayat, what type of buddhi that we are aspiring for? Like the camphor type of buddhi. What is a camphor type? Comes in contact with fire, catches it so fast. Transformation is now that Karpura buddhi understands what Mishratvam, Adrupti Karatvam. The third thing is Andhakatva. Andhakatva means bondage. What is the meaning of bondage? Dependency is bondage. The meaning of bondage is dependency. Dependency, obviously mental dependent. Obviously it is mental. What is mental dependency? What is mental dependency? Whatsoever you dependent upon, the presence of the person will be miserable absence of the person also will be miserable. That is bondage. Again, the presence will be miserable, absence also will be miserable. Okay, absence is miserable is common sense. How is the presence becomes miserable? Because the other is not listening to you. You say stand up, the other is sitting. You say sit, the other is standing. Person doesn't listen to me at all, sir. Please say what? Ask him to listen to, and then you look at the other person. The other person says, say the same thing to. What is bandhakatvam? Bondage, dependency. What is dependency? The presence or absence makes you feel miserable. At one stage you will feel I can't live with it. Bondage. At another stage you will say I can't live with it. And we don't do this examination at all. And we don't do this examination at all. So the Buddhi, Ramana here, the Unnata says, he is doing this examination. Beautiful is this examination. What? Presence is miserable, absence is miserable. What does it mean? At one point in time, I say, I can't live without this person. At another point in time, I say, I can't live with this person. You know the story, Laila Majnun. Beautiful epic. Romeo Juliet. Oh, there are so many epics, but nothing can compare to this Laila and Majnun. Who's the boy? Who's the girl? Majnun is the boy. Laila is the Majnun, the prince, fell in love with Laila, the commoner. And the king tried to convince that you don't do that. Boy, Majnun said no. He goes on. He goes on the streets calling Majnun, Laila. Father said, you have gone mad. Come home. At least do all your madness in the. He says, what is home without? It's on. It's a beautiful epic. Whenever you get chance, read this. Father, the king, told bring Laila to the court. Let us decide whether to get you married to her or not. So next day, Laila was brought to the king looked at Majnun and said, where is Laila? And she's standing next to him. Where is Laila? He says, and the king goes, is this the one? Handsome prince fallen in love with one. The description of Laila you should read, and don't come and say body shaming. Yeah, don't come and say it is body shaming, sir. Don't come. That's how it is. Quite racist. The king shows 1,000 pictures of other princes. Choose one from here. Can't you see her? The king says, look at her through my eyes. So we say, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. For others, it doesn't look beautiful at all. He says, Father, I have looked at the beauty of Laila. Look at her through my eyes. It has such a rich content in philosophy. A boy heard the story of Laila and Majnun, decided that he should start loving like Majnun. So what he did, he went to the marketplace got a picture of Layla and started going, Layla, Layla, Layla. Majnu heard that. He called that boy aside and said, leave my Layla alone. Find your Layla. It's not in Layla, it's in the heart of Majnu. He says it's not in Layla, it's in the heart of Majnu. Have the heart of Majnu and find your Layla. Otherwise, bondage. What is the bondage? In this kind of imitation, I can't live with Layla. I cannot live with Layla. We don't know what. The third important aspect of pariksha is bandhagatvam. Before having, I felt empty and miserable. After having, I am still feeling empty and miserable. Again, before having, I experience emptiness and misery. Having, I am experiencing the same emptiness and this is what he says as Diksha Lokan Karmachita. When you examine Karmachita, this is what you will come to. What is it? Dukkha Mishratvam, Dukkham, Atrupti, Bandham. The adjective Bandhagatvam means full of bondage. Atrupti Karatvam means full of atrupti. Dukkha Mishratvam means full of this. Now, temporarily we can keep the adjective aside and then we understand this what? Dukkham, Atrupti, Bandham. Karma will result in these three. Therefore, a Brahmana having understood this, Asti Krita Kritena, underline Mahavakya. Mundaka Mahavakya is Nasti Krita Kritena. Nasti Krita Kritena means the uncreated is not attained by created. The uncreated can never be attained by created. Obviously, action. So what it meant here is action. So, the uncreated is not attained by action. All this examination you do first by yourself. The three types of the result of action which you find through examination. Yes, examination must happen only after I have gained a level of proficiency and efficiency in action. Before starting the action, I cannot do this examination. By gaining some proficiency and efficiency in action, examination becomes easy. That's why Karma Yoga becomes the Vidhi. Because all these three is a subjective phenomena. What I will call this Atrupti, Dukkham and Bandham is a subjective phenomena. Subjective phenomena means you can understand it in you. You can never understand it in another. How to understand it in you, you should do some action. What type of action? That we have studied already. Swabhava karma. By doing a Swabhava karma, guided by karma, which becomes Swadharma. So, by doing your Swadharma karma efficiently, unaffected by the results, you have a clarity to examine. That's a Brahman. You must do it efficiently. Some amount of efficiency must come. And if And efficiency is very easy to get. All that you need to have is some Shraddha. Where there is Shraddha, efficiency is correct. So, by doing now, what is the entire mantra, the shift? By doing your karma means your Swabhava karma. Because you add Swabhava karma, dharma, we call it as Swadharma karma. So, by doing your dharma karma with Shraddha, Swadharma karma, you do it with Shraddha as told by the Vedas, Shastras. Shastram Pramanante. Tasmat Shastram Pramanante. Follow the sequence carefully. The Shastras have told very clearly this Swabhava, this karma, this Swabhava, this karma. Chapter 18, Bhagavad Gita, he says Brahma karma Swabhavajam, Shatram karma Swabhavajam, Vaishya karma Swabhavajam, Shudra karma Swabhavajam. He said everything, all that very clearly he said. That Swabhava, take it to combine it with dharma so that the Swabhava karma becomes Swadharma karma and Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha Paradharmo Yavaha. By following the Swadharma karma, you become a Guna Brahmana. You have to see how everybody in their respective Varna can become a Guna instead of asking one person to shift to another. It's a very beautiful plan. It's a very beautiful plan. What is that plan? By doing your Swabhava, karma, with guided by dharma, as told by the Shastras, with Shraddha, what happens to you? You evolve in that category. Where do you become? What do you become? You reach the level of a Brahmana in that Varna. Not Brahmana. You follow what I am saying? That person is a seeker of Brahma Vidya. That person becomes a seeker of Brahma Vidya. Now, the seeker who, in the initial stages, the seeker understands it is only through action. Therefore, there is an obsessive value to action. Now, the Upanishad is trying to tell us, do action. But the obsessive way of doing action is not going to be helpful at all, because obsessive way of action means getting stuck to action. To tell a person, just sit quiet, looking at the ceiling for half an hour. Say, oh, waste of time. I can't do that. Restlessness. Therefore, the sequence. That person who is a Guna Brahmana, Buddhi is very sharp. What does that person understand? Whatever be your Swabhava karma, the result of Swabhava karma is the three. What are the three? Dukkham, Adrupti, and Mishram. Now examination is complete. Buddhi can take you only to this extent. Yes. Yes, all karmas, including yajna karma. In the context here, karmopasana means yajna karma. We combine everything together now. When we are discussing karma, we discuss it sequentially. When we do pariksha, we put everything together into one. And when we put everything together into one, we have only one thing to examine. What? Yajna karma. So here, pariksha is happening only towards yajna karma. Why? Because this person is attached only to yajna karma. Because all other actions are dropped already, no? When all other actions are dropped already, what other actions is going to examine? Yajna karma also is going to result in these three. What are the three? Dukkham, Adrupti, Bandham. He's stuck now. He doesn't know what. He's stuck. He doesn't know what. That person carrying Samet goes to goes to the Guru. Why? In the book he has studied there is Brahman. In the book he has studied there is Brahman. But studying in the book is of no. Therefore, he goes around looking for, is there a person who has actually passed this pariksha? What is passing this pariksha means? What is passing this pariksha means? Brahma, Sunit. So punishment for you. All the retreats will stop. You will become a Brahmanishta. So he starts looking for a Brahmanishta. He becomes the test that you have passed the examination is you become a Brahmanishta, not a professor of philosophy, not a professor on Brahman. You become a Brahmanishta. Brahmanishta means stable. Tamil Aniyacha Madhuri is so stable that nothing can move. Meaning, no experiences of life can shake that. Is okay? That's the examination. Whoever to do this examination need a buddhi. Whoever does this examination will be called as a Brahmana. Yes. Yes. Where is Sattva? Sattva is that which tells you are stuck. Where is Sattva here? It is Sattva alone that can tell you you are stuck. Rajas tell you do. Sattva tells you. Sattva will not tell you don't do. Tamas will tell you don't do. Rajas will tell you do. Sattva will tell you. Unattached to doing. Sattva is very easy, theoretically at least. At least to discuss Sattva is very easy. Here is a person who is attached. And that person becomes a Sishya. And that Sishya, he has understood that, underlined that. Having understood that, he goes carrying Samitpani. It's a very beautiful word, Samitpani. The indication that he is carrying Samit tells you that the Shrotriya Brahmanishta Guru is living a life of ignorance. Very fact he is saying he is carrying Samit. He is living a life of Karma Yoga. Even though he has attained the highest, because Samit is used in Yajna, and those who do Yajna are called Karma Yogis. Another word for Karma Yogi is Grihasthashram. Shrotriya Brahmanishta Guru is still living in the Grihasthashrama style to inspire the. Otherwise, why will he carry Samit? When you go to meet a sannyasi, you should not carry Samit. When you go to meet a sannyasi, you should carry something. That's because sannyasi has no use for Samit anymore. What will he do with the Samit? That's why we should understand the tradition properly. If you understand the tradition properly, you will know why the Samit is being Samitpani. Carries the Samit, takes it. To whom approach only a Guru. He should approach only You should approach only a guru. Upanishad is so objective that it is describing the quality of the. Generally, we will not discuss the quality of the guru at all, because that's not the subject matter. We should not discuss the quality of the guru. But still, the Upanishad is so objective, it discusses two things to guru. What is it? Shrotriyam, Brahmanishtam. Brahmanishtam means one who is established in Brahman. Shrotriyam means one who has the ability to communicate that experience to another and motivate the other to come there. That is Shrotriyam. Shrotriyam and Brahmanishtam. That is where that which cannot be explained, that which cannot be explained, that which cannot be explained, and all the Upanishads goes on explain. If you say that which cannot be explained, you should just keep quiet. No. That which cannot be explained, that which cannot be explained, and they go on and on and on explaining, because somewhere the Karpura Buddhi will catch. Like Ramana heard, that's all he heard. He didn't say Shiva temple, Brahmamukti, all that he didn't hear. Just the word itself is enough to bring that is because of the Karpura. Therefore, Parikshalokan Karmajidan Brahmano understood the law, goes to a guru who is Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Most of the time what happens is the Shrotriyas will be misunderstood as Brahmanishtas. Shrotriyas will be misunderstood as Brahmanishtas. Why? Because the Shrotriyas will be understood as Brahmanishtas because they know how to talk. Which the Upanishad has already called them? As Ande Naiva Niyamana Thandaha. The blind leading the blind. The Upanishad has already dismissed that. Therefore, Smipani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. This is the transition mantra and the important mantra of Mundaka Upanishad. Parikshalokan Karmajidan Brahmana. So the Brahmana, having done actions, introspects and understands that these are the results of action and this is not going to take me to what is the natural desire? Moksha. What is moksha? We discuss all that. We are not going to that again. Brahmana, who's got that, goes to the Guru, who is Shrotriyam and Brahmanishtam. That Shrotriyam and Brahmanishtam Guru will say, don't waste your time in Brahmamukti, come to path of sun, path of moon and all, don't worry, come straight. Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, take the straight path and come to me. There, Tyagaraja sings, Chakali Raja. So Tyagaraja sings it, it's a very beautiful song, Chakali Raja. Means take to the royal path. What is the royal path? The royal path of dispassionate actions. The royal path of dispassionate action. In that dispassionate action, you gather a maturity. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Sir, how will I know Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam about that? Become a Guna Brahmana, you will. Become a Guna Brahmana, you will know. Right now, you cannot. Remember the story that we said? Janaka announced 10,000 cows. Whoever is wise, come and take. Come and. You can never know. Therefore, Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam is the qualification which a Guna Brahmana, a highly sattvic person will understand. Quote that person on the command. go to that person only. Why go to anybody else? Ande naiva niyamana kandaha. They will go in circles and they will take you also in circles. Not only they go in circles, they will take you also in circles. Oh, very important. Ande naiva niyamana kandaha. To avoid that, become a what should be the aspiration? Guna Brahmana in your existing partner. That's the method of Yajna Karma. The principle of Yajna Karma will make you a Guna Brahmana in your existing partner. From there you attain moksha. Actually, word attaining moksha is wrong terminology which we have studied already. It's a wrong terminology because you don't. Attainment again is a product of action. Moksha is not an attainment. Remember the two types of illusions. The two types of illusions that Mandukya talks about. Two types of Bhranti pieces. One he calls as ordinary Bhranti, another he calls as Mahabhranti. Ashtavakra also says the same. Ashtavakra consider from Mandukya and Ashtavakra Gita. What is it? Bondage is Bhranti. I am liberated is Mahabhranti. What do you do then? You really don't know what to do. Mahabhranti. Why? Because moksha being a swarupa, there is no attainment. Moksha being a swarupa, there is no attainment or Shotriyam Brahmanishtam. Yes, Ravi. Say, yes, Brahmanishtam means self-realized. We can never know who is self-realized unless you become a highly without becoming sattvic. If you look at a Brahmanishta, that Brahmanishta will look like Unmatavat, Vishashavat, Balavat. Without enlightened, without that Guna Brahmana status, if we go there, the enlightened will look like Vishashavat, Unmatavat, Gunavat, like, not like. Something is comparison, meaning something in them will be non-comprehensive. Converse is not true. Yes. Yes. No, that's not possible. Yes. Yes. That's why you need to do it. You have to examine your karma. And if you have to examine your karma, you should have done some karma. Shraddha. Karma implied Shraddha. Yes. 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 How do you examine? You don't try to connect the karma and phala because that is beyond intellectual comprehension. Gahana karma no gati. That connection you can never make. Only thing that you can understand is what you are enjoying a phala and that is going to diminish. That's why the Sanskrit word phala is very beautifully translated rightly into English as fruit. Fruit means what? Perishable. It is perishable. The word phala itself means it is perishable. Karma phala means the result of karma is perishable. Yes. 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 A person who reaches the level of Somnata is a Agnihotri. Agnihotri means one who has done their respective Nitya Naimittika karmas properly. Agnihotri means, symbolically, Agnihotri means one who has done their respective Nitya Naimittika karmas. Yes. Question is a truly like Shirovrata we spoke no the first day. That's how the Mundaka goes. Does he actually carry it, or is it symbolic? Have the courage to say it is factual. Don't neutralize it by calling it as symbolic. Don't neutralize it by calling it as symbolic. Have the courage to say it is Dhiraha. You must be a Dhiraha to say it is symbolic, sir. It means you need not do it because I have understood. Have the courage to take it as literally true. Why do we have? When you see it as literally true, you see how you are reacting to it. It shows how much you need to Rikshagokan, Anujitan, Ramhano, Rikshagokan, Anujitan, Ramhano. He got involved. Yeah, he is not doing his pariksha properly. Chanting, he got involved in the discourse. The theme of the important mantra of Mundaka. We will chant mantra number 12, mantra number 13. Him who has approached duly, whose mind is well pacified, whose senses are controlled, such an enlightened soul should impart the knowledge of Brahman in essence, by which one realizes the true imperishable being. Now, the Upanishad is telling the Guru what he should do. All along, the Upanishad is telling what the disciple should do. Teaching is incomplete because he has to tell. Now, the Upanishad is telling the Guru. The theory of Upanishad. It is giving a command to Brahma Vidvanshi. That is why this Upanishad is telling them what to him who has approached duly, whose mind is well pacified, whose senses are controlled, such an enlightened. So all these are adjectives to the students, the Sishya. What is the adjective? Mind is well pacified means Shant, not ordinary Shanta. Shant. Whose senses are controlled, to that student, such an enlightened soul should impart. It's a command. It's a Vedic command again. So Vedas are full of command. So in a command, you should impart that knowledge of Brahman in essence. Tattvataha. In essence. In essence means without leaving anything. No filling the blanks. No nothing. Everything should be taught in sense, by which one realizes the true imperishable being. Therefore, literally what the Upanishad is telling, Shaunaka has come to you. And the Shaunaka mind is well pacified. He is in Prashanta. His senses are well controlled. That is Shaunaka on the one side. Now, the Upanishad is telling Angirasa. Almost like Angirasa telling himself now. Angirasa is telling the other side. What? Such a person, an enlightened soul, should impart that knowledge of Brahman. Tatvataha means, in essence means clearing all the doubts. Teaching in essence means no doubt should be left unattended. No doubt should be left unattended. That's why in Vedas, in Vedanta, in the tradition, we have such a sanctity to all questions. It's a very beautiful tradition. There is a sanctity to all the questions. We will never consider a question as poor, useless, irrelevant, inferior. No. All questions are dealt with. There is a sanctity to each and every question. Why? Each and every question is removing like onions. One peel is getting removed. One thing is getting removed. It means all questions are dealt with. So Tattvataha means teaching completely. What is complete teaching? No doubts is left. Right. It means what? All questions are answered. It means what? But sir will come. You have to go on answering. A time comes where the person says, once time is over, we have understood. Otherwise, the man is not going to keep quiet. The only way to shut the teacher is what? The only way to shut the teacher is what? I have understood. Oh, you are saying you have understood. Keno Upanishad will start. Oh, I have understood. Flight time is coming up. I have understood. Please come to. Oh, you are saying you have understood. I mean, it doesn't matter. I have understood. That's how Arjuna says. Ishto Maha Smriti Ladda Shagan Vyashita. All my doubts are cleared. No doubt is cleared. No doubt is cleared. He is so frustrated that better to go back to action than listening to him. Still he has achieved his end. What is the end? Make the person go back to Nitya Naimitika. Karma, Shraddha, Guna Brahmana, Pariksha, Moksha. This is Mundaka part. With this we